please and please always drop your questions. Oh, I appreciate those that have been dropping questions.
This call is now being recorded.
Okay, now let's proceed. Hi learners, in today's class we'll be looking at the preposition of time, preposition of place, and preposition of position. Transportation rather. Now, when we talk about preposition of time, we have some prepositions that we use to indicate time. So part of those prepositions, you have at, you have by, you have on, you have in. The meeting starts, is it by 6 p.m.? Is it at 6 p.m.? What do you say when you have to use a preposition in that sense? So we have some prepositions that are used to indicate time. The first one we'll be looking at is at. When you use the preposition at, it shows what? Precise time, exact time, a specific time. So you use at when you're talking about a specific time. For example, please see me at 8. I am saying you should see me at 8. Don't come by 9 because I am being specific now. Don't come by 7:30. Don't come by 7:35. Come by 8. See me at 8. The next example we have here, I get up at 7 o'clock. It means I get up at exactly what? 7 o'clock. The English class starts at 3 p.m. The English class starts at 3 p.m. So this is at is used to show what? Precise time. When you talk about precise time, then you should use at. A specific time, exact time, then you should use at. Now let's look at the next one. The next one here is in. In. When do you use in as a preposition of time? When should you use in as a preposition of time? You use in when you are talking about general time periods, month, years, part of the day, and longer duration. Also, when you are talking about centuries, you know, in the year, in the 90s, in the 80s, like that. So we have some examples. She got married in 2008. That is, she got married in this month. There is a specific year here, sorry, 2008. So she got married in 2008, a general time period, month, year, part of the day, and longer duration. The road gets wet in winter. The road gets wet in winter. The road gets wet in winter. Oh, I saw her in the morning. That is part of the day. I saw her in the morning, not I saw her at the morning or on the morning, just because you want to be exact. I saw her in the morning. So you use in when you're talking about general time periods, month, years, parts of the day, and longer durations. Now let's look at the next one. The next one is on. When you use on for days and dates and specific days. You use on for days, dates and specific days. The exam is on Tuesday. The exam is on what day? On Tuesday. He was born on the 2nd of August. He was born on the 2nd of August. Now I am being specific about the date and day. He was born on the 2nd of August. Let's move it back to at. I said there are some preposition you use with time. The first one we started it with was at. You use at to show precise time, exact time, specific time. You use at. Use at to show precise time or specific time or exact time. Please see me at 8, not later than 8, not earlier than 8. See me at 8. I get up at 7 o'clock. It means if you come to my house by 6:30, if you come by maybe 6:45, I won't be up. But just come by 7 o'clock. Oh, I'll be awake by then. I get up at 7 o'clock. The English class starts at 3 p.m. The English class starts at 3 p.m. That is, if you join the class by 3 p.m., then you would see that the class would have started at that time. The English class starts at 3 p.m. The next one is in. In is used for general time periods, month, years, part of the day, and longer duration. She got married in 2008. This is a particular year here. The road gets wet in winter. Now, the next one is on. You use on for days, for dates, and also some specific days. The exam is on Tuesday. He was born on the 2nd of August. Now, the next one we'll be looking at is by. By means not later than. By means not later than that time. Please submit the report by Friday. Please submit the report by Friday. It means you should not submit the report later than Friday. You can submit it before Friday and you can submit it on Friday. But anything after that, do not bring the report. I hope we are with me. By means not later than. Submit your assignment by Monday. Submit the assessment by Tuesday. It means if you are through with the assessment before Tuesday, you can submit it. You are welcome. But you should not bring the submission after that Tuesday. No, do not bring it. When it is on Wednesday, you now say, oh ma, I just finished because my data, I exhausted my subscription and I had to know. Don't bring it later than Tuesday. Submit by Tuesday means not later than Tuesday. Before means earlier than a certain time. When you use before, it means earlier than a certain time. Remember to dust your bed before sleeping. That is, dust your bed before you sleep. Earlier than a certain time. There's a particular time you sleep. Dust your bed before then. You can see me before lunch. You can see me before lunch. It means there's a particular time that you have for lunch. So you can see me before that time. Now, the next one we'll be looking at is for. Oh, the next one we'll be looking at is for. For is used to measure the length of time, to measure the duration. How long has that thing been happening? Then you use for. We've been here for 3 hours. We've been here for 3 hours. We've been here for 3 hours. It means that if I should measure the time, the duration, the length, I think we've been here for 3 hours. It is that long. We've been here for that long, 3 hours. Since refers to a specific starting point in the past, up till now. Since refers to a specific starting point in past, up till now. Have been there since yesterday. It means I am still there. I am still there. So I am talking about a specific starting point in the past up till this moment. Up till this moment. I have been living here since January. I have been living here since January. It means I am still living there. I am still living there. I haven't left that place. I am still living there. So since it's talking about a specific starting point in the past up till this moment, it means that thing that happened in the past, that action, that thing that has been happening since in the past is still happening till this moment. It is not that I left there already. I have been there since yesterday does not mean I left there already. No, it means I am still there. I have been there since yesterday. Now let's look at the next one. We'll be talking about some prepositions you use for transportation. Note, for this preposition of time, you still have other ones like you have within, you have after, you have during, you have through, throughout, you have from, till, until. So I leave this to you to read on, please. I would love to. Don't worry, you have questions on it. So if you do not read, if you do not read on this particular topic, I would know, because you will, except you do a UJ, UOJ, you will actually get the answer right if you do that. And I may ask you to explain how you got your answer. So be prepared. Now for transportation, you have the following preposition used for transportation. So you have by. Now, when you talk about by is used when talking about transport generally. Oh, not say, oh, is it by bicycle or by this or by. When you talk about transport generally, something that conveys you generally, then you talk about by. I went to the town by bus. I went to the town by bus. She traveled by train. So by is talking about what? A general transport. Talking about transport generally. Now, when do you use in? When do you use in? You use in when you're talking about preposition of transportation now. You use in when you can sit in that particular what? That particular thing. When you can sit in it, then you use in. I am in the car. I am in the car, because you can sit in that what? In the car. I am in the boat. I am in the boat, because you can sit in that boat. If you can sit in it, then you use in. If you can sit in, note, I did not say on, because somebody might be saying, I am in the tricycle. You are in the tricycle. Yes, you are in the tricycle because you can sit in it. Do you know what tricycle is? Keke marua. So keke napep. That's tricycle. So you sit in the tricycle. Now you don't tell me I am in the bicycle, because you can. Are you sitting in it? No, now. So you don't say I am in the bicycle. So you are in the vehicle. You are in the vehicle because you can sit in that particular thing. You are in the car. Now you can be in a bus and you can be on a bus. If you can sit in the bus, then you are in the bus. Definitely, we all can sit in the bus. When you get to the except for some particular bus, I don't know. Is that even a bus? I don't know if you know about Molwe. There's this bus in Lagos, very popular then. It's called Molwe. So I could remember very well then during my secondary school days. If you can't get a seat, if the seat is fully occupied, then you have to stand. And even sometimes you will not want to sit because standing fee is lower compared to standing fee is lower compared to sitting fee. For if I could remember then, if you should sit, I think you'd pay 20 naira, but standing is, I think sitting is 15 naira or 20 naira, and standing is maybe 10 naira or something. So most times as students now, we will not want to sit. Let me just stand, though I will soon get to my destination. Now, when you use on for public transport. You use on for public transport or vehicles you can stand or move around in. Now, you can say you are in the what is this korokpe? I don't know I don't think I can remember the English name for korokpe right now. But can you move about in korokpe? Can you move around in korokpe? You can't move around in it. Where do you even want to move to, except you want to get down from that bus? So you use in for that particular one. But if you have a bus, that you have a vehicle that you can move around in, if you can move around in that vehicle, or you can stand and move around, then you talk about on. Dele traveled on a plane. When you use a plane, you say on. You don't travel in a plane, you travel on a plane. Now, another one is she is on the bus. She is on the bus because she can stand and or she can, if the bus is spacious enough, then you can move around. Now, the next one we'll be talking about is the prepositions we use for place. In, on, and at. Remember, we have in, on, and at for time also. So please don't mix them up, they are different. When you talk about in, you're talking about inside a space or enclosed area. Inside a space or enclosed area. She is in the room. She is in the room. She is in the room. The clothes are in the closet. The clothes are in the closet. Now, on, when you talk about on, you're talking about the surface of something. For example, my books are on the table. My books are on the table because it's a surface. My books are on the table. My books are on the table. Now, at. We use at to talk about a specific place or location. A specific place or location. When talking about a specific place or a specific location, then you should use at. Bolu is at the door. Bolu is at the door. That is, Bolu is not just standing anywhere, but where? The door. If you open the door, you are going to see Bolu there. Bolu is at the door. Bolu is at the door. So you use at to talk about a specific place, a specific location also. Sometimes also, if a place is not well known, you can use at. If a place is not well known, you can use at. You can say you are at such place if the place is not well known. Let's assume that now I live in I live somewhere called Kogumajami. That's just an example anyways. I live somewhere called Kogumajami. And Kogumajami is just known to, it's not well known, because if you even tell someone, oh, I live somewhere called Kogumajami, the person will be like, Kogumajami, what sort of name is that? I've never heard of that before. So I can say I live at Kogumajami. Why? Because it is not well known. But if it is a place that is well known, if it is well known, we use in. If it is well known, we use in. I live in Lagos. That is if I live there. I live in Lagos, because I don't think there's anyone you mention Lagos to that will not know that we don't know where Lagos is. Even if the person has never been to Lagos, you sure we know what Lagos is. You will know that, oh, Lagos is a place, a very, very popular place at that. So I live in Lagos. Now, when you talk about a small place, also in relation to a bigger one, you can also use at for the smaller one. When you talk about a small place in relation to the bigger one, then you use at. Now, there is a street called Mokola. There is a street called Mokola, and Mokola is in Ibadan. Mokola is in Ibadan. So now, I want to compare Mokola and Ibadan. Definitely, Ibadan is bigger than Mokola, right? Because Mokola is located in Ibadan. So there is no way Mokola can be bigger than the old Ibadan itself. So if I want to talk about that, I would say I live at Mokola. Mokola is smaller compared to Ibadan. I live at Mokola, where? In Ibadan. So now I am using at for the smaller one, and I am using in for the bigger one. I live at, I don't want to say where I live at. I don't want you people to come and carry me. Come and bombard me with questions. No. Okay, so I live at Mokola in Ibadan. Why? Because Mokola is within Ibadan. So it is actually smaller. It is actually smaller compared to Ibadan. Ibadan is bigger than Mokola. Do we understand this, please? So for your preposition of time, you use at, you have in, you have on, you have before, you have after, you have until, you have from, you have since, you have throughout. And for your preposition of transportation, you use by, you use on, you use in. Then for place, you have in, you have on, you have at. Now you can also have your preposition of position. Preposition of position. It shows position of things, shows position of people, things. For example, she is standing beside me. She is standing beside me. That is, she's right here beside me. You know, we're touching, our side is actually touching each other. So she's standing beside me. Now, there is something I would love to clear here. You have beside and you have besides. You have one with S and you have one without S. Somebody is actually standing beside you and not besides you. Something can be beside you. The fan is beside me. The fan is not besides you. When you use the one with S, then you are talking about also. That is, you are saying also, and not to mean something that is actually standing, close to you. Now, for your preposition of position, you also have between, you have near, you have over, you have beneath, under, among, and to mention but a few. All right, so I think this is where we stop it on preposition for today. Can start. You can ask your questions now, please. I want us to have more time to answer questions. Ahmad is being specific. Okay, standing. Yes, standing. So inside Molwe, they'll say something like, Wamu standing. Even BRT too, yes, in BRT too. But BRT is actually not Molwe. Molwe is a legend. So Molwe is kind of something you can call school bus. There is a particular bus like that, yellow bus. There is this yellow bus called school bus. They use it abroad. If you actually watch this, the wheels on the bus, there's this particular bus that was used in that video. So that bus, something like that, is what you call school bus. So if you don't have a space to sit on anymore, you have to stand. And if you are not tall enough to hold on to the school ride, okay, thank you. School ride is for the botis. You call it molue. For the ajepakos, they know what molue is. So if you are not tall to hold on to that, there is a particular steel there that you need to hold on to. If you are not tall to hold on to that thing, as the bus is moving, moving to this side, you will just see that you are moving with it, and you might eventually fall if you are not strong to stand properly. Okay, I have a question here. The plane flew dash the clouds. The plane flew dash the clouds. So we have the option A, on, over, above, and upon. I have on, over, above, and upon. To your question, Rohima, the plane flew dash the cloud. We have option A, we have on, over, above, or upon. So we want to pick from these four options, which one is right? Now, when you say the correct option for this is the plane flew over the cloud. The plane flew over the cloud, not upon, not above, not on the cloud. Why is over the right answer? Over, what does it mean when you say over? Over means above something. Above something. When that thing is actually what's covering it. So a plane can fly across the cloud or above the cloud. So when you say above, and when you say over, rather, over means above something, and sometimes that thing is above it and moving across it and covering it. Now, when we say on is actually used for when that thing is touching a particular surface. If it is touching a particular surface, we say on. For example, on the table, on the wall. So a plane is not touching the cloud, is it? Is the plane touching the cloud? So it is not touching any surface there. So you can't use on. You can't pick on in that aspect. Now, above. When we say above means at a higher level. When you say above means something is at what? A higher level. But then you are not talking about movement in this sense. Above does not include movement. But here now, in the question, we have something that talks about movement, that is flying. Flying is actually moving. So when you say the plane is above the cloud, you are just talking about the position only. That is, the plane is just standing there. It's just like you are above something, or something is above something. It is not moving. It is just there. But here we are talking about movement. If you say the plane is above the cloud, we are talking about just the position in that aspect. But right now, we need both movement and position, not just position only. This thing is actually moving. It is not stagnant. I hope you are with me. So that is why above is not correct. Above is not correct in that aspect. Now, when you talk about upon, so upon is kind of synonymous to on. It is synonymous to on. So you can't say the plane flew on the cloud because it is not flying on it. Now, how do you know when to use over and above? When it is talking about movement, use over. When movement is involved, you use over. But when movement is not involved, you are just talking about position, now, then you say above. And that is why the correct answer to this question is the plane flew over the cloud and not above the cloud. I hope I have answered your question. I think I have another question here. The cat jumped, dashed the roof, and disappeared. Where did you see the cat that was jumped? That I hope it is not what's the name of this cat? I hope it is
Muiza.
not Muiza. Muiza should not run away. Okay, so the cat jumped, dashed the roof, and disappeared. So we have option A. We have other learners. I hope you are taking note of this. So when I answer a question, the question is not only meant for the questioner. It is meant for everyone to benefit from. So I hope you are taking note of this. I don't know, maybe Rohima is actually giving us questions that will come out in, you might see it in your examination like that. You know, they tend to repeat question a lot. So that is why when you practice, you would see that, oh, these things are really, really simple. So we have the cat jumped, dashed the roof, and disappeared. On the roof, in the roof, onto the roof, or over the roof. Which of this is the right answer? Which of this is the right answer? Other learners, you can also keep your question coming. Please keep your questions coming. Drop your questions. I will check them and I will explain and pick the right answer. We'll pick the right answers together. Okay. Now, the cat jumped, dashed the roof, and disappeared. Option A, on. On shows position. Now, we are talking about movement again. Now, because jumping is an example of what? Of a movement. Jumping, running, flying. So that's it's all of this that I mentioned now shows movement. So when you say on is just talking about position. The book is on the table. The book is not moving, is it? No, it isn't. The book is just there on the table. So on shows position and not movement. The cat, we can say the cat is on the roof. It means the cat is not going anywhere. The cat is there. If you look at the roof, you will see the cat there. That one doesn't show movement. It only shows position. But here in the question, the cat is moving also. In, when you say in means inside something. The cat cannot jump inside the roof and disappear. So a roof is not something you go inside, right? A roof is not something you go inside. It is not like a room that you can go inside, or a box that the cat can actually go inside. So in is also wrong here. Now let's look at over. Over, like we said earlier, means across or above something. Across or above something. But here we are talking about the cat jumping and landing. Before the cat disappeared, it would have jumped and landed on something before its disappearance. Over just means above something. So the cat cannot jump above the roof and disappear. No. So here, the right answer to this is onto. So the cat jumped, moved from one place to sorry please. So when we say onto means movement to a particular position on a surface. So when you say onto means movement from a particular position on a surface. So it shows that something is moving from one place and it is going towards another place. Something is moving from one place going towards to a surface. Now we have the cat jumped onto the roof. The cat is actually jumping from somewhere and it's moved towards to a particular surface, right? And from there, we don't know what happened. The cat just disappeared. So the right option to this question is what? Onto. Onto shows what? Movement. Onto shows movement here. But on is talking about just position. So that is why we are not going to say the cat jumped on the roof. Onto means what? It is moving from particular place. We don't know where the cat was before. So the cat jumped onto the roof. That is, it moved from one place and landed on that surface. And from there, it disappeared. I hope I have answered your question. So the right option to this is option C.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll pick it from the last question I have here. When you say bend or bent, what preposition do you use with it? The right preposition that goes with bent is on. So when you say somebody is bent on doing a particular thing, it means that the person is determined to do that thing. So I have a question here. He was bent dash going there despite the warning. He was bent dash going there despite the warning. So he was bent on going there. Because bent, the preposition that goes with bent is on. And that means what? The determination to do something. To be determined to do something. Maybe a strong intention, you can also use it that way, a strong intention to doing something. So it was bent on going there despite the warning. Not bent to, not bent at, not bent for. It was bent on going there despite the warning. Okay, I have another question here. When I meet Amadi yesterday, actually from this question, Benny Beko, I would like to correct something. Since you used yesterday, it shouldn't be meet anymore. Meet is present. And now you're talking about yesterday, which means you're talking about a past event. When I met Amadi yesterday, not when I meet. Please take note of that. You are talking about a past event, so you should use met, not meet. When I met Amadi yesterday, it was the first time I dashed him for 6 months. When I met Amadi yesterday, it was the first time I dashed him for 6 months. A, had seen. B, saw. C, have seen. And D, have been seen. Which of this is the right option? Okay, let's look at this together. This question is actually on verb. This your question is on verb, and that will be the next thing we'll be looking at. Verb. Shall in tomorrow's class, we'll be looking at verb. But nevertheless, I would answer this question. Now, this question tests your what? Your tenses. When we say tenses, we mean the past tense, the present tense, the past perfect, the future. But now, this question is on past perfect. Now, the first thing we need to do is, let's read the question again. When I met Amadi yesterday, met is a simple past tense, right? Past tense of meet. The simple past tense of meet is what? Is met. When I met Amadi yesterday, it was the first time. Now, what does this word mean? What does this phrase mean? What does it mean? First time. It was the first time I dashed him for 6 months. It means that before this moment, before that yesterday that you are talking about in this question, before this yesterday, you had not seen him for 6 months. When I met Amadi yesterday, it was the first time I dashed him for 6 months. It means before this yesterday, you had not seen Amadi for 6 months. So we are actually talking about an action here that happened before another past action. Met, that one happened yesterday. Not seeing him for 6 months is also one action that has happened before that of yesterday. So when you have a question like this, when an action happens before another in the past, when an action happened before another in the past, sorry, so you use what? Past perfect. What do I mean by that? So you use had plus the past participle verb. You use had plus the past participle verb. In this case, the right answer to this question is had seen. Had seen. Had seen. When I met Amadi yesterday, it was the first time I had seen him for 6 months. Now let's analyze the other option. Option B, we have saw. Saw is just a simple present. Excuse me, please. Saw is not present form. It is the past form. Sorry, that was a mistake. So when you say when we have saw here, saw is a simple past, but we actually need an action before met. We need an action before what? Before met. So option B is not correct. The next option, have seen. Have seen. Now have seen is what? A present perfect. We need a past perfect. Have indicates present. Has and have, both has and have are present. Had is the past form for has and have. So have seen. Actually, your seen here is a past participle verb. But what doesn't make this answer to be the right one is the presence of have. Have is in the present form, but we need a past what? We need a past tense here. Now have seen is wrong. Have been seen. Have been seen is a present perfect continuous tense. So it is wrong to use that with what? With yesterday. It is wrong to use that with yesterday. So when you say first time, when you have your first time like this, it was the first time, it is the first, when you have something like this, then you say first time plus what? Plus past situation. So when you have your first time plus past situation, you're talking about the past situation now. Then you use had plus the past participle verb. I hope I have answered your question, Barua. So the next question. The chairman presided the meeting with great skill. The chairman presided the meeting with great skill. The right preposition. This question is also under the right use of preposition. Which preposition goes with the word preside? So the preposition that you use with preside is over. Preside over. You preside over. You preside over. What does this mean? It means to be in charge of something, be it a meeting, event, an organization. And in this case, we're actually talking about a meeting. So you have the chairman presided over the meeting with great skill. Remember, I said preside over means to be in charge. To be in charge. You're in charge of a meeting, you're in charge of an event, you're in charge of an organization. So you are going to say preside over. You preside over, you preside over. The right preposition that goes with preside is over. Have I answered that question, please? So it is a fixed expression. Actually, you can't say preside at or preside on or preside in. So you use preside over. She has great affection dash her mother. So now we are looking at which preposition goes with affection. Now, for affection, the right preposition that goes with affection is for. So you have affection for someone or for something. You have affection for someone or something. What do you mean by this? When you have a great affection, or you just have affection, even if it is not great, if you have affection for someone or something, it means that you like that particular thing or you love it. It means you like or love it. So now you are talking about a great one. So you are talking about a great love or a great like. She has great affection for her grandmother. She has great affection for her grandmother. So the right preposition that goes with affection is for. The right preposition that goes with affection is for. Remember, I said you can have great affection for something also. And like an example here is Aisha has great affection or strong affection for what? Aisha, what do you have great affection for? Aisha has great affection for animals. Aisha has great affection for animals. So it means you like animals or you love animals. So when you use affection, the bottom line is when you use affection, the right preposition that goes with affection is for. I hope I have answered that question too. Now we've learned some words now and the preposition that goes with them. The first one was preside. When you use preside, the right preposition that goes with preside is over. Now, affection. When you say affection, the right preposition that goes with affection is for. You preside over something. You have affection for something. Bent. You are bent on. The right preposition that goes with bent is on. Bent on doing something. Despite being warned, he was bent on going there. Let him go there and face the consequence. Okay, I have another one. The ceremony was attended by many dignitaries. Sorry, the ceremony was attended many dignitaries. I have with, I have by, I have from, and I have to. Right now, what we want to look at is which preposition goes with attended, right? Now, was the ceremony attended with, was it attended by, was it attended from, or attended to? Okay, I'm back. The ceremony was attended many dignitaries. So we have attended by many dignitaries, many dignitaries. This This sentence is actually in the passive voice. So the active voice of this sentence would have been, many dignitaries attended the ceremony. Many dignitaries attended the ceremony. So we have, the ceremony was attended by many dignitaries. Next question. The meeting will hold dash weekend. Is it in weekend, at weekend, on weekend, or by weekend? Now, this is about preposition of time. We are talking about preposition of time here. Are we using on? Are we saying by? Are we saying at or in? Who wants to answer this question? Now let's analyze this answer. When we say in, remember what we said about in while explaining. In is used for what? Is used for general time periods, months, longer durations. So because the weekend is not a longer duration, it's just a specific time. So in is wrong here. Now let's look at at. When we say at, then we are talking about a specific time, right? We are talking about a specific time. Let's hold on to that. Now we have on. On is used for specific days. For Monday, Friday. Let's assume that this weekend is specified. Let's assume it's that okay, on Saturday or Sunday. That is specific. So we can use what? We can use on with that. But now it is not specified. It is just weekend. It could hold on any day. So far it is weekend. Now by. By means before a certain time. Before a certain time. So the meeting we hold by weekend. Here I'm not saying okay, maybe the meeting will hold it can hold before weekend or at or during that weekend exactly. No. So by is talking about what? Before a certain time. So on, by, and in are wrong. They are all wrong. The right answer here is what? At. The right answer is at. So the meeting we hold at weekend. So you use at when you are talking about a specific point, a specific time, just like I explained at the beginning of the class. You use at when talking about a specific point, a specific point. For example, at night. I will read at night. I am being specific now. I don't want to read in the afternoon or in the evening. I want to read at night. The meeting we hold at weekend. So here you see the weekend as what? A short time period, a specific one. So we have at weekend. Now I have another question here, I think on preposition also. Is notorious dash telling lies? Is notorious dash telling lies? Is it notorious of telling lies, notorious for telling lies, notorious with telling lies, or notorious on telling lies? Now, the right preposition that goes with notorious is for. The right preposition that goes with notorious is for. So when you say somebody is notorious for something, it means the person is famous for doing something bad. famous for doing something negative, famous for doing something bad. So that is notorious. You use notorious for. He is notorious for telling lies. He is notorious for stealing. That is, he is known, he is famous for stealing. He is notorious for what? That area is notorious for crime. That is, that particular area is famous for crime. So if something is famous in a bad way now, we are talking about notorious for. When something is famous in a bad way, you talk about notorious for. That is to say, the right preposition that goes with notorious is for. He prides himself dash honesty. He prides himself dash honesty. Does it pride himself with honesty, on honesty, in honesty, or for honesty? Now, when you use pride, the correct preposition that goes with pride is in. So you pride in something. You don't pride on something. You pride in something or you pride in someone. What does it mean? When you pride in something or someone. So he prides himself in his honesty. He prides himself in his honesty. Now, when you say you pride in something or someone, that means that you have a feeling of satisfaction about someone or something. You have a feeling of satisfaction about what? About something or someone. For example, she takes great pride in her work. She takes great pride in her work. It means what? She takes what? A great feeling of satisfaction or pleasure about our work. So when you use pride, the right preposition that goes with pride is in. So you pride in something or you pride in someone. Oh, he has pride in his children. He has pride in his children. He has pride in his children. Okay. Now let's go over the preposition that we've learned from the questions that I got from my learners. Now, the first preposition we learn here, I have preside. When you use preside, so the preposition that goes with that is over. You preside over, preside over. Affection, affection. The right preposition that goes with affection is for. The right preposition that goes with affection is for. Bent. The right preposition that goes with that is on. The right preposition that goes with that is on. Notorious. Notorious for, that is famous for a bad thing. Famous for a bad thing. And I think the last one we learned here was pride. So the preposition that goes with pride is in. You pride in something or you pride in someone. Benny Beko, I don't understand your question. The technician was work dash column. I don't understand your question, Benny Beko. Okay, but the answer in the series is saw. Let me go back to your question, Barua. When I met Amadi yesterday, it was the first time I saw him for 6 months. That answer is wrong. Let me tell you this. You know, no one is above mistake, right? No one is an island of knowledge. Sometimes you would even have a wrong answer picked in your past question. You will have a wrong answer picked in your past question. So it is now left to you to know what you know well. When you know what you know well, and you are able to, when you are able to identify the wrong from the right, then you should be able to pick the right answer. That is why I try my possible best to always analyze my answers. I do tell you why the one that we pick is right and why the other ones are wrong. So I think I do that to the best of my capacity. I try to analyze the ones that are wrong, tell you why they are wrong, and the one that is right, the one we picked, I try to tell you why that one is the actual answer. So when you know what you know well, no one will be able to confuse you with anything. Just like the example I gave in the last class of one of the learners that actually is in a group, you know, to learn more So when you want to learn more, you don't just stay in a place. You know, you learn from here, learn from here, learn from here. So when you want to learn more, that is one of the attributes of a great learner. So you don't just learn from a particular book alone. You take from many from many sources. So now she actually picked an answer which was just a lot of luggage. But then they flagged that answer as incorrect. They said the one that was correct was many luggages. But because she knew what she knew very well, to the point that nobody can deceive her with a wrong answer, she still stood by that answer. And she asked that question that, Ma, is this answer actually right? But you told us that luggage doesn't take an S because it is uncountable. So when you know what you know well, you know, even if they are off at gunpoint, you will still stand by that your a lot of luggage, because you know that luggage will never and never take S. Oh, why are you laughing? Because I said at gunpoint. I know most learners, they at gunpoint, you just say, see, please, luggage do take S. Oh, it takes S, it takes S. Who wants to die? Nobody. No one wants to die. And that is not possible. Or who wants to become a Methuselah? Nobody wants to become a Methuselah now. Nobody wants to die, but everybody wants to go to heaven. Everybody wants to go to paradise, but no one wants to die. How possible is that?